I was experiencing a very loud squeaking sound coming from my iRobot Roomba while it was running and vacuuming. And the squeaking sound was louder than the sound of this regular sound that it makes when it vacuums. And it was extremely annoying and kind of high pitched. And what I found out is that the squeaking sound was coming from one of these wheels here. And I believe it was this wheel. I've already resolved it, so I don't know which wheel it was exactly now, but I'm going to show you how I solved it. It has so far worked fine with no more squeaking since that time. This is specifically is a iRobot Roomba 960, but this trick could probably be applied to just about any Roomba because the design of the wheels doesn't change that much. So while the Roomba was running and the wheels were turning, you would just hear this really loud squeaking, and it was coming from, I suspected, from the axles. And I looked online, and any suggested fix I could find for this involved taking apart the wheels and cleaning them and lubricating them. And I was like, that's not going to happen. That's going to require taking apart the chassis to get to the wheels and taking apart the wheels, and just a huge pain. I'm not going to do that just for a squeaking wheel. Finally, when I got really annoyed, I took a closer look at the wheels, and I noticed that there is a hole on the side, on the outer side of the wheel, that allows access to the axle. And so you can see it right here, this hole here that I'm pointing out with my finger. And I wondered what happens if I put some lubrication in there. And I can see as I'm turning the wheel, I can see the axle spinning. So that seems like a great access point for some lubrication. Because on this side, there's really nothing. There's the axle here, but it turns with the wheel. It's fixed, and adding lubrication here is not going to do anything. Now, you want to be careful about what kind of lubrication you use. You want a lube that's going to be dry, or that's going to dry out. You don't want a lubrication that's going to stay wet and it's going to drip down to the wheels and get on the wheel and just make a big mess, and it's just always going to be wet and picking up dust and stuff like that. So you want something that's like graphite, or evaporates after you apply it and leaves behind a graphite or Teflon film in there. I used this Blaster dry lube with Teflon, and this stuff, it goes on wet, but then it dries out pretty quickly. So when you apply it in here, and you just want to be careful too, to not still apply it on the wheel. You don't want to spray it everywhere, because then there's Teflon on the wheel. It could be slippery. You definitely want to pinpoint the application to this hole. To do that, you use the straw, and you can really put the straw down in there and just apply a small squirt at a time and rotate the wheel. You should have a piece of paper towel handy too, in case you overspray and need to wipe it up quickly. I put the end of the tube from the spray into the hole. Just apply a small squirt. Oops. See, there's still a little bit of overspray. So I'm going to wipe that up. I'm going to rotate this wheel. And when it was squeaking, I noticed right immediately, as soon as I started rotating the wheel, that the squeak went away. Because the squeak would happen even when I was rotating the wheel by hand. So just clean this up over here. With this spray, what you'll notice is once it dries out, it leaves a little bit of a white film. So you can see where it's been applied. And since we have lube in that hole, don't flip it over until it's dried out. If you want to go ahead and do the other wheel while you're doing this, then it's just kind of preventative maintenance. So put the tube down in there, apply a little squirt. Oops. Even trying to be gentle with that squirt still kind of sprays out, but didn't get on the rubber tire or anything. You can actually see the lubricant kind of working its way down into the axle. Again, make sure to wipe off all the excess lubricant around the hole. So there you go. Once the Roomba wheels axles are properly lubricated with a dry lube, then the squeak should be eliminated and it's going to be quiet again like before. If you found this video helpful, please like it and let me know how it worked out for you. And please consider subscribing to this channel for more everyday useful tips and DIY.